Welcome to Ideagen TV and the presentation of the Global Leadership Summit 2023. Today, I am thrilled to have with us Diane Quest, Interim President and CEO of the Points of Light organization. Welcome, Diane.
Hi, George. Thank you for having us.
You know, it's so incredible to see all of these points of light that you're highlighting. I am a huge fan, as you know, of everything that you're doing at Points of Light. And I know for sure that you have a lot of plans. It's a new year. It's 2023. And would you kindly tell our global audience, the millions of people that are watching this, a little bit about your plans for 2023?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking the question, George. We have kicked off 2023 with a lot of hope and optimism, hopefully, like everyone else has done. I will start by saying we introduced the framework of the Points of Light Civic Circle a few years ago, and the response to that has really been phenomenal. It resonates. This idea that we must empower people to take action on causes they care about in ways that are accessible and, frankly, doable. So as we take off into 2023, we are focused on designing programs, products, and services that really help our corporate partners leverage the Civic Circle to support their employee engagement and their company's social impact and purpose work, and that help the nonprofit sector adopt this framework to better engage volunteers, supporters, and champions of their causes. We're also exploring the role of civic engagement in two areas: in democracy and as it relates to achieving health equity. We're doing this through thought leadership, content curation at our annual conference this summer, and with our global network of affiliates. And finally, as an economic uncertainty starts to grow, as we're all seeing, we really want to make sure that companies don't scale back on their commitments to social responsibility and ESG goals.
Well, those are all critical issues to be working on. And what an exciting plan for 2023. I knew there was no doubt that you had bold or audacious plans for this incredible upcoming year. I'd like to shift a bit to leadership. The entire focus of this Global Leadership Summit is leadership. And so you espouse the servant leader approach. Could you tell us a little bit about the qualities and value of a servant leader?
Absolutely. I would start with integrity, empathy, optimism, and equity as what I see as the core principles of leadership today specifically. As a servant leader, my goal is to focus on things that will really support the Points of Light staff members in achieving their goals. It's because of their work that we are delivering on our strategy and our mission, and so you have to keep them in focus. What does that mean on a day-to-day basis? It means I'm focused on ensuring we're operationally and financially stable as an internal function, and externally that we're showing up as thought leaders with new and existing audiences. It also means working closely with the team to nurture our culture so that everyone thrives in their individual roles.
And basically, as the interim president and CEO of Points of Light, how does your leadership directly drive and shape your culture?
Sure. I would say people drive our culture, but the leader really in any organization sets the tone. So, especially in an interim role, we really want to ensure transparency, forward momentum. There's no coasting while there's a CEO search going on, and collaboration, which has really been core to our success over the last 5 to 7 years. As we begin to co-design what our workplace and workspace looks like as we come out of a pandemic and into more of a new normal, we're really excited that we're going to do so by bringing our entire team together for an all-staff event that's planned by staff, led by staff, and it includes team building and skills building. So we're really defining the next chapter of Points of Light together.
Incredible. I love that. I love that everyone is a leader in an organization. Obviously, there are titles, but everyone can and is a leader, especially at Points of Light. And so, as the interim president and CEO, how do you believe Points of Light's mission to inspire, equip, and mobilize people to take action, to take that critical action, can help develop individuals' leadership skills?
Well, the Points of Light Civic Circle gives people options to find ways to engage that's right for them, leaning into their skill sets and realizing there's always more they can do. They can support nonprofits in volunteering their time and talent to use their unique skills. For example, doing something like leading a committee for a nonprofit can actually help you build new skills that you may not get to sharpen in your day job. So things like budgeting, event planning, really anything. And then there are skills that you can really hone in on within the civic circle, listening and learning, using your voice. Those are skills that are also really strong keys to leadership.
And in terms of services, how do you specialize your services to convene and partner with nonprofits, corporations, and specific individuals and groups at Points of Light?
Sure. We have a number of stakeholders and audiences that we partner with, that we serve. So for corporate partners, we've really been focused on helping them shift their work throughout the pandemic. Now, as we move to more of an endemic and really start to face a lot of economic uncertainties, we're helping them stay resolved in their commitment to social impact and purpose work. Here's why. We know the workforce is making employment decisions based on corporate purpose. Our research shows that more than 40% of Gen Zers have applied or taken a job that's based on a company's social responsibility, and that 82% of people globally expect companies to do something about a social issue. So our corporate consulting work helps companies navigate trying times, changing times, whether it's a pandemic, a recession, or anything else, so that they can continue to lean into their social impact commitments, because we all know that that's very good for business. The Civic Circle helps employers find ways to engage employees and commit to the communities that they work in. Not everything is for every person, but there is something for everyone to engage with. For nonprofits, the Civic Circle helps them think through how to maximize the people in their network and take them from a volunteer to a more holistically engaged individual with them in their work. The Civic Circle also helps individuals find pathways to engagement that work for them where they are currently in life today.
And so, as we look at events, Points of Light is leading the way on events. What types of events do you host at Points of Light?
Hosting events, gatherings, convening is one of our strengths for sure. I'll start with one that's coming up pretty immediately, and that is a virtual really celebration campaign that anyone can participate in, and that's Global Volunteer Month, which is in April. It's meant to be a month where employers, nonprofits, and even individuals can celebrate the value and the impact of volunteering. We have tools and resources available on our website, and it's an easy way to engage and start to learn and see all that great social media content that's focused on volunteering, get inspired, and really say thank you to those who give so much of their time. The Points of Light Conference, which we hold annually, is for nonprofits, corporate leaders, and government partners, a place for us to gather and really find education, connection, and inspiration. This year, it's going to be in Chicago in June. We also offer a number of more smaller group gatherings, I would say. So we have a corporate service council, which is about 100 Fortune 500 companies, and the CSR leaders within those companies gather a couple of times a year. And then this year, we're really excited to co-host with our Brazilian affiliate a global gathering for our network of affiliates, and that will be in Brazil this year. So we bring people together to experience a different culture, to connect, to inspire each other, to learn from each other. So we really focus on the content that we curate, and the ways that we can bring people together to make real valuable, impactful connections.
Diane, that's just incredible and so incredibly inspiring. And speaking of inspiring, I'd like to focus a bit on your own leadership journey. Could you shine a light, explain for our global audience, please, what that leadership journey has looked like?
Sure. I would say it's rooted in the way that I grew up. My dad was in the Navy and my mom was a lifelong civil servant. So I come from a family of public service employees, people dedicated to helping others. I have other members of my family who are in the Coast Guard, who are paramedics, work in the school district. So it's just the way that I grew up. In my early career as a journalist, I got to see a lot of different aspects of life and was really struck by the way the nonprofit sector steps in and really meets people where they are and supports our community in ways that often go unnoticed. I used my journalism background to really focus on strategic and crisis communications, and ultimately landed here at Points of Light almost 7 years ago. Have held a variety of leadership roles and had the privilege of working very closely with our previous CEO on our strategy development and implementation, and really an operational transformation from which I learned so much and just offered me unique insights and experience to be able to step into this interim role.
Incredible, Diane. And as we conclude this just incredibly inspiring interview, are there any specific calls to action that you would like to share with our global audience? And perhaps most importantly, how can folks find out more about your work at Points of Light?
Absolutely. Our call to action is join us. There are so many ways in which you can do so in your individual life, as a part of your day-to-day work, whether it's at a nonprofit or at a company. You can learn about all of those ways to engage at pointsoflight.org. You can follow us on social media. We're at Points of Light on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And then take a look at our resources for Global Volunteer Month and be part of that conversation and celebration online with us in April.
Diane Quest, Interim President and CEO, Points of Light, leader, luminary, changing the world. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, George.